Okay, folks, now, here we have, we'll start again. Here's this 8 by 10, covered in a bit of an acrylic paint, bit of an orangey, reddy orange. And I'm going to do a very deep, dark sunset here. Nice and reds and oranges and lots of darks. So some oxide red, some phthalo green, some ultramarine blue, tiniest bit of black, just to keep it nice and dark, and trying not to mix everything. You just get this. I don't want it too mixed, you know. I just wanted lots of variations on this. Lots of reds and pure greens and blues and pinks and oranges. Anything that pops up. You see, I'm just picking paint off from the dabs of it there, and I'm just putting it on here. Now, let me see. Let's get a tree going up in here somewhere, dancing this about. Now, I just want to stop here for a little second just to thank Carl E. Brand for becoming a member and just to welcome them to the family. So, welcome. And now back to it. And I'll get myself a horizon. Now, I don't normally like doing horizons halfway, so I want to come up a tiny bit just above the halfway mark. There we go. Create some distance. There we go. Very nice. And the reason I'm dancing this brush about like so is just purely for texture, folks. Absolute texture. Hi folks, just a wee quick announcement. I've started one of those new member thingy-majigs. I would really appreciate your support. It helps the channel and it helps me. Just click the wee join button below the video. It's only a couple of quid a month. Anyway, thanks folks, it's very much appreciated. And now let's get back to it. This is quite dark down in this area here. I'm going to be wiping a good bit of that out for the water. But as you can see, that's quite dark. Quite the dark area here. You see now, yes. Trying to keep this organic as possible. Alright, so let me see. Alright, okay. Alright. Take a little bit out for the water here. Just there, that'll do. For the water. Take a little bit off the sky as well here. There we go. Now I've just covered myself in paint. Alright, okay. Alright, we got some yellow here and some red. Myself a nice creamy. I want a bit of a cerulean in that too. I want it too green though. A bit brighter. What I have there, that's nice. That's a bit better. And I am trying my best not to mix everything. Trying to keep it all nice and textured. Important. Or at least it's important to me when I'm working with this. That's the way I like to do it. Of course, with your painting you do it whatever way you like. And this is the way I'm doing it. Different strokes, different folks, all of that. I am just talking and talking and talking for the sake of it. Let me get a nice It's a bit better. A bit more red. Want a nice deep red sunset along here. There we go. Very nice. Very, very nice. Let's mix a few things here. Bring that up into the sky. Oh, so gently, so gentle. Barely touching anything here. Now it's a nice red sunset there. So I'm going to bring in a little bit of violet at the base here. Yeah, proper violet. So some red, a little bit of raw umber, and some blue. Now the raw umber would really knock it out. Oh well. What I mean knock it out, a little desaturate it a good bit. I hope this isn't too, it's a bit too dark. But I'm just going to be, it's just a bit, you know, I'm going to be a wee bit, still too saturated for me. A little bit of green in that violet will grey it out a touch. I have overdone it on my mixing here. Yeah, that's better. And all I mean there is that I grayed it out a bit too much. Right across there. Nice band of clouds off in the distance. All right. Okay, good. Oh, that's nice. All right, that's not so bad now. Let me see. I'm just going to use a knife here, just to cut into this a touch. Palette knife. Here, just to get this in the. There, get that there. Yeah, just breaking that up a touch. That's not bad. Make it a little bit brighter in an area here, just along here. Okay, now going to do the water here. We get into the water. Now, what brush will I use? Will I use this one? No. I will use. I'll use. Come on, make a decision. Make a decision. I'll use this one. There we go. I was finding that a bit stressful. So some cerulean blue and some of that green that's already down, just to help green it out a touch. Some liquid fine detail, and let me see. It's not grey enough. Not quite grey enough. Not far from it though. In fact, I'll use the base underneath to help grey it out too. That's not bad. That's not bad. Right. Now, I already have this brush up and ready, just for the sky in the water. Very good, that. Very good. So far, right. Now I want to put a little tiny bit of light just underneath this hedgerow here, just a touch. I'll mix it in with what I have down. Oh, just a little bit, just here. Just so that you can see the light shining down on it. Now, oh, it's hard to see, isn't it? Isn't it? But it is there. So I'll just top it in here. Yeah, you can just about see that. Just about. Now, I'm going to get myself a bit of a dry-ish brush here. And just get up into this tree. Now, I want some nice darks here. I've got, I have oxide red and phthalo green, just on a wee beat up brush here. If you have a look at it, just a wee beat up brush. And I'm just going to mess around here, see where this takes me. Try and find a pleasing shape for myself. Okay, and I'm trying to stay away at the minute from the white. And I probably will have to clean some of it off. All right. And let me see here. I'm going to take a little bit of the sky off so that I can create a better shape just up in here. Just so that I can get a better shape of a tree for myself. Or else it would just mix with the white, and I know I could come back and wait until it was dry. But I'm not doing that at the minute. I'm doing this. Nice and gentle. Trying to my best to stay away from the white just for the time being. Just gently. Now I'm going to come into the white just a little bit. Softening those edges. Alrighty. Ooh. Now I'm going to do the same down here. I don't need to be so careful down here. And what I'm pointing to is here. Don't need to be so careful. Now, just softening that edge all the way along there. Let me see now, I have made a bit of a boo-boo here. So I have I think I'm going to lighten up that this area here just a little bit. I want a bit more of a contrast between the edge and the sky. So I'm going to just say lighten this up a touch. see. Yeah, okay. Now you see the way I'm just dabbing this on here? Look at that. Now that actually, yes, that really works. That works well, actually. I'm glad I made that decision. Dabbing that on. Creating that distinction between the land and the sky. Now, very good. Happy enough with that now. And let me see, a bit more careful. Okay. Now, where's my other little softening brush? Here it is. I just want to sort the part of the sky out here. There we go. Now I want there to be some life in this sky. I don't want it completely blended, but I don't want there to be big rough patches in it either. Okay, so let me try something here. Where's my knife? Actually, I'll mix it up first, and then I'll use the knife. Okay, so let me see. I have a nice bright patch here. And a little bit of liquid just to help that dry a little bit. Now I'm going to use my palette knife here and just go up into here. Nice and bright patch. We line right across the. We line right. Oh, like I'm not. I was going to say I'm not going to touch it, but I should have brought it a little bit further. And I'll do it just here now. There we go. All right, now a little bit more in the water here. That's a bit too bright for me. I don't like that. So you make one mistake, yeah. But I'm just going to knock it back a little bit. As you see, I'm barely. All I'm doing is taking the edge off that, just a touch. Now I will say no. I will just say no to that. No, not happy with that. Right. So let me see here. That's a bit better. Not happy with that at all. Ba-da-bum. Ba-da-da-da. Okay, now I want to, let me see about this tree. Yes, I'm going to add a fair amount of trunks to it. What I need. So, black, oxide red, keep it nice and warm. This is a liner brush. I don't think there's anything special about it. It might be a bit too thick for my purposes here. And so far, so good. Trying not to make a Y. That is, I've been mentioning that recently in some of my paintings, that one of my problems, if you want to call it a problem, is that I have a tendency to make my tree trunks look like Y, the letter Y, not as in why are we here. Okay, so and I'm trying to stop myself from doing that. Okay. No, that's okay, that's okay. I thought I had slightly messed it up, but it's not so bad. I'm not keen on the shape of the tree at the top, but it's an easy fix, I think. I'm just going to... So, a bit of a dry brush. Let's see what I can do with this here. It's a dry. Bring that out a touch, just to reshape that a bit. That's not so bad. A bit darker, the whole tree in certain areas. Okay, I think okay, but I'm unsure. Now, that's how we look at the grass at the front of it here. So, let me see, what do I think of it? I think it's doing okay. Right. Now, this is obviously because of the knife marks, or the palette knife. I made quite a lot of straight lines there, and that doesn't work too well in nature. So let's just fix it. All right, now just want to try something here. I just want to give myself a bit of a yellowish thing here, and just scoop it up and then plop it in about here. All right, okay, not bad. Nearly there with it. All right, just drag that down a touch. That looks okay now, doesn't it? That doesn't look too bad. No, it doesn't. That doesn't look too bad at all. I just want to put a little bit of reflection in the water here. Just here, yes. Not too much on the brush. Take a little bit off. All right. And then lighten it up. Here and there, just here. Almost done, I'd say. Pretty close to it. I think the water is just a bit too dark. A bit too dull looking just. Alright, now let's go into the grass, just like so, to give the illusion of reflection. Oh yes, nice and rough, eh folks, nice and rough. A big head beating up the camera. Right. Don't like that straight line. Now this is why I'm working on this area here. Didn't like that straight line where the light was shining. And I think I'm all but done. These are some alla primas I'm sticking in these days. I think they're useful. A bit darker down in this area here. And then a few brighter patches, just for the hell of it. I almost a pure yellow here, just, you don't want too much on it either though. Just a few brighter patches sticking here and there. And there we go. Give it the impression now of light hitting the edge there. Just a little touch of it. That's all I'm after. Just a little touch. And now just to do a little tiny bit of detail work. And then that'll be it. And all I'm going to do here is soften the edges. Ah! Did not see that. I picked up the wrong brush. Yeah, I'll just use this to soften it. No, I won't. It's not too soft. The brush itself was too soft. And kind of a dry brush here. Just softening all these edges. Very good. Very nice. Working out a treat, this one. Alright, I think I'm going to say that that is done. A little bit more reflection maybe. A little bit darker maybe. Give that sense that that tree is affecting the water there. Again, more straight edges. Okay. I think I'm going to say that that one now is done. Now, what I will say is, because of the way the light is shining on this here, I'm just going to knock that off, just gently. Because the grain of the brush is running in this direction, and because the light is directly above, it highlights the grain, and it makes it look brighter than what it is. I'll give you an example if I can. Let me see. No, there. Now look at that. See how bright that became? And then I just knock it back a bit. There, it's gone dark again. Something like that, you know? That's all. Just getting rid of that grain a little bit. Trying not to blend everything together. Just, as I say, get rid of the grain. Okay, folks, there's a little tonalist piece. And I'm wondering about the darkness of this tree. Is it dark enough? I think it is. What I have forgotten to do with it, though, is put a little bit of light in it. Just a little bit of light coming through. Not bright enough, eh? Not quite, almost though. There we go. Just a little bit popping through is all. Right, folks. I think I can safely say that that is it. And I'll see you in the next one. Oh, by the way, I've got started up one of those membership things. Feel free to join. It'd be nice to have you come along. Helps the channel. Only a few quid a month, and you're not obliged. Okay, all the best. I'll see you soon in the next one. Bye for now.